Am I the asshole for asking my partner to stop funding his ex's life? A bit of backstory. About 8 months ago I and my partner got together. He still lives with his ex, they have a house together, pets, etc., and I'm okay with it. The relationship was dead well before they broke up, nothing horrible, they just grew apart. It happens. Me and my partner live in different cities, we see each other a couple of times a month. We normally take turnabout with who travels. Again, not a problem. Him and his ex still have joint finances because of the mortgage and they can't afford for one of them to buy the other one out. My partner earns over double what his ex earns. His ex is a teacher so isn't paid throughout the holidays and things get tighter with money. Roll forward to 3 months ago and the ex's father is given a short time to live, roughly 6–9 months. The ex moves to be with their family but is no longer working. Since there's now only one income, things go back to being tight. This also means my partner can't afford to visit me because of fuel pricing, housing the pets, etc. And I can't afford to get up there more than I already do. I know it's a shitty position for the ex, but am I the asshole for wanting to stop my partner from funding his ex's entire life? Edit. Adding some context. Answering some questions for everyone to read with the post. The 3 of us are guys, not that this changes the situation. Long distance works fine for me because I work out of town a lot and I'm barely home anyway. I have good relationships with a few of my exes. I believe that there's a reason you were together and I get that sometimes you're just not meant to be together. I stay in the house when I'm there, I've met the ex knows we're together. We do kisses in front of them and hold hands. There was a rough plan to how things were going to happen with the house in the future, but that's currently on hold because of the Phil situation. The housing market is ruined where I am. Neither of us live somewhere that could be considered a holiday destination. Banks here have the power to dictate where your pay goes if you've got a mortgage with them. They have too much power. I don't care which bank account his money goes into. We've seen each other more than 16 times, we knew each other well before we got together. We met while I was on a work trip for a few weeks, never intended on becoming more than someone I'd be friendly with, but here we are. I knew they were living together when we started. I assumed things would have progressed further with them dividing stuff if the family member wasn't dying. We're in our early 30s. He plans to move my way once his company opens roles in my city. We both enjoy our jobs and the companies we work for. I spend a lot of time on the road singing my heart out, and he spends some time up mountains. I grew up in his city and would never move back. Other than this particular issue, we are good. We both encourage each other to be our best selves. I've joined a gym, lost a bunch of weight, and now feel genuinely amazing. He's stepped out of his comfort zone, started some new hobbies. They moved cities together a few years back but never really got to know anyone outside of the people they work with. I feel like this is why the relationship went on as long as it did. I think he feels guilt for leaving the ex still. He's a good guy and doesn't want to see him fail at life. It's never been brought up, but I'm 99% sure the ex is dull end of the spectrum. I've been asked some very dumb questions about sandwiches. Nothing leads me to believe there's anything going on between them. They live quite separate lives, they just happen to live in the same house. Hell, they don't even cook for each other. The ex and I are fine. The ex and I are completely different people. I've got things like plans to start running my own business, whereas he's got plans to get all the shiny Pokemon in S&V. Kinda just want to know if I bring this up while the ex is going through the stuff. Location flag, location flag, location flag. This person is not emotionally available. You're not in a real relationship with him. He is not your partner. I doubt that they are actually divorced, and even if they are clearly his day-to-day partner in real life. Please wake up and find a healthy actual relationship with someone who is truly free to be in a relationship with you. Not the asshole, but there is no reason your partner and his ex couldn't sell the house. Since you have only been dating for 8 months and the entire relationship has been long distance, I wonder if you are being told the whole truth. Not the asshole to anyone but yourself. Unless you've met the ex, you have to know this is pure lies. Info. Is she really the ex? Because it kinda sounds like you're a side piece. They are either still together or your partner lacks serious boundaries, is a doormat. Partner doesn't prioritize you. You can try to discuss it but don't expect much. Am I the asshole for taking a THC gummy at a Christian wedding? I, 26M, was the +1 for a wedding that my roomie, 27F, was in as a bridesmaid. I had previously met the couple, M and F 28, a few times and they seemed fine. I brought a pack of 5 Maleg gummies that I would take during the reception and my roomie knew I was bringing them. The wedding was small, about 60 ppl. I knew going in that not everyone was allowed +1s, but my roomie was as she's in the bridal party. The ceremony was nice and when we moved to the reception, I was seated with 3 bridesmaids and 2 of the bride's college friends, 20s MF couple. The wedding party left for pics and some food was brought out, so I took a gummy. I offered some to the couple I was left with, and they politely declined, and I thought that was the end of that. Some time passed and the wedding party returned. Right away, the couple engaged in hushed conversation with the bridesmaid sitting opposite me. I couldn't hear over the music. The couple's vibe changed and while we were talking as a table they would start responding to things I was saying with, "Oh, I wonder what other fun things you're taking," and "Don't let the kids here see you're doing that," in snarky-ish tones. I became uncomfortable, so I excused myself and stepped out onto the patio. Soon after my roomie stepped out and joined me. She informed me that the table started talking about me when I left, and the couple was appalled to find out I brought gummies to the reception. They expressed their distaste for drugs that aren't FDA approved, and are also apparently Christian, which became clear when they stated that this was a Christian wedding and I should be more respectful and not bringing addictive drugs around a celebration with kids present. My roomie thought they were overreacting, but the other bridesmaids agreed with them and debated kicking me out. I was embarrassed and didn't realize I would cause such a reaction, as they had an open bar and plenty of the people were already buzzed, that couple included. We returned and I apologized, and tried to explain that the gummies are legal, and not addictive like alcohol or other drugs. The man seemed to think that was a jab at him, as he was already pretty drunk. He interrupted me and said, "You don't get to tell others how much they can drink at a wedding, especially when you're a +1 and we were actually invited." The convo died, and we were dismissed for dinner. I could hear that couple a few people behind us in line for the buffet still talking about it and including others in the convo. At that point I felt unwelcome and told my roomie I was just going to wait in the car outside. She opposed that, but I told her I'd be fine and left. I stayed in the car for 3 hours. When my roomie finally came she told me that when the bride heard about this, she didn't personally care, but said I absolutely shouldn't have brought edibles, as many of the attendees were Christians and equated weed to meth or cocaine. Edit. Thanks for the feedback. Overall lesson learned lol. I'm not going to sweat it though since they were pretty catty and I'll never see any of them again. Esh. It's okay you took 5 Maleg THC. No worse than being drunk or buzzed. But you failed to gauge your audience and randomly offering other people gummies. Should have kept it to yourself. There's still quite a social stigma. And a wedding is not the place to try to tear down those barriers if you're not the bride or groom. And everyone else decided to judge you harshly for a benign drug that's legal as alcohol. And no worse than alcohol. Not the awe for bringing it or taking it. Kinda you are the asshole for offering it to people you don't know. Never assume someone's okay with it. Esh. They were definitely overreacting, but why would you offer the gummies to random people at the wedding? It's like you were trying to draw attention to yourself on purpose. 5 Maleg won't even get most people high, so it's not like it's a huge deal. But just keep it to yourself. You are the asshole. Don't take drugs at people's weddings. Did not have typing that on my bingo card for the day. You are the asshole. You took drugs to a wedding. I don't want to hear any arguments from others saying, they're not really drugs, or, they're legal. They are drugs. Who the fuck thinks it's a good idea to take drugs to a wedding? You couldn't wait to get home to start chewing on that shit? I'd have kicked you out. Am I the asshole for not paying my ex's rent? I, 33M, started talking to my ex, 27F, after 6 years. She was separating from her boyfriend and moving out of the house they rented. Our conversations were innocent enough. Catching up, reminiscing, nothing sexual. Everything seemed great and I thought we were reconnecting. A week later, I asked if she wanted to meet. She agreed and I was excited. I made reservations at a restaurant I knew she would like and texted her to confirm. She replied, "It's a date." I get to the restaurant, text her, "I am here," and ask for her ETA. No response. I message, text, and call her. No response. I wait in my car wondering what's going on. Is she hurt? Is her battery dead? Any excuse I could think of to justify this behavior. After an hour of waiting I went home. The next morning I wake up to texts from her apologizing for not showing up, but no explanation. I ask if she's okay. She replies she's fine and changes the topic. We kept talking after that and I once again ask her to meet. She says she would love to. This time, I don't drive to the restaurant until I get confirmation, but that confirmation never came. The next morning it's déjà vu. Apology texts, but no explanations. Through our conversations I learned that she's in financial trouble. I tell her that if things go well between us I'd be happy to help, but seeing as how she's living with her ex, I haven't seen her in 6 years and she's bailed on me multiple times, I would need to regain my trust for her. She replies, I don't need a sugar daddy. I am capable of taking care of myself. Skip to a week later, I get a call at 2 a.m. from her asking if she could come over. I say yes. She shows up, we have some wine and make out for a bit and I was overjoyed thinking that we may actually have another chance at this relationship. Before she left I asked if we could do this again. She said she would love to. The next day, she asks if I could drop her off at the airport. I said yes. The day arrives that I'm supposed to drop her off and once again, nothing. I hear back from her 2 days later claiming she broke her phone. She did this 4 more times. This is the part where I may be the asshole. 2 days ago she sends me a screenshot of an email she received from her landlord claiming they are starting eviction proceedings. I replied, I am sorry this is happening. The following morning she sends me a message calling me an asshole for not offering to pay her rent. I replied that she has bailed every time we were supposed to hang. All we do is text, and I don't trust her based on her past behavior. After calling me names and arguing with me she said, if you really cared about me, then you would have given money, no questions asked. I thought that it was a ridiculous statement. My friends and family are on my side. But a coworker mentioned that, it seems like my ex is struggling and if I in fact did want some kind of romantic relationship, I should have helped. Now I am feeling kind of guilty so I ask, am I the asshole for not paying my ex's rent? Come on, she's already played you for enough of a chump. Not the asshole. First of all she's an ex so sometimes you just have to realize if things haven't worked in the past that the issues from last time don't magically disappear and it's better to move on with your life with no contact. She's consistently showing you that you're not a priority in her life. I do find it funny though that she doesn't want a sugar daddy but yet she suddenly wants money off you? As I said above I think it's time to realize this woman is too much drama and walk away for good this time. Bro. No, not the asshole, but you need to stop talking to her. Get her back out of your life. Not the asshole and not to be mean but do you like pain? Why keep talking to someone and setting expectations to regain trust? Just stop doing this to yourself or don't complain about the cycle you're stuck in with her. You're the asshole to yourself. She's an asshole to you. Not the asshole, but walk away quickly. Am I the asshole for intentionally making my homophobic cousin uncomfortable? Hi there. I'm a 22-m dude with a problem. My younger cousin, Paul, 21 male, is a total shithead that the family is mostly in denial about. He leeches off his family and makes them spend money that they really shouldn't be spending on luxury items to fit in better with his rich friends. He's an alcoholic and has shown up shit-faced to basically every family gathering since he was 17. And ever since we were young, I've basically been his punching bag. And #X200B. My grandmother has tried to call out that he's incredibly irresponsible for his age. All of his writing assignments for college are being done by his older sister and dad. He's stolen money multiple times for stupid video game shit etc. With the main excuse being that he's figuring things out. I have no desire to reconcile with him, he's been a dick to me my whole life. The entire family just seems to assume he'll eventually become not an asswipe, but I've been hearing that for decades. So for years, after trying and failing to stand up for myself, I just sort of caved and took it. I disassociated at every family gathering, tried to leave, failed, and got shat on. Until a miracle happened. I came out as gay. See. Turns out Paul is painfully homophobic. I had only kinda discerned this. We had a trans family friend as well who recently died and he was incredibly rude during the dinner after the funeral, dead naming etc. I just sorta assumed it'd be another thing I'd get shat on for. Until I brought my boyfriend to one of our family gatherings. Paul, mysteriously, just straight up avoids me. For the first time ever, I have a holiday where I am left alone by him. And I love it. I start to notice that whenever my partner isn't in my proximity, he feels comfortable attempting to start shit. However, if my boyfriend is around, or if we show any degree of affection, he gets visibly disgusted and distances himself. And #X200B. After testing this a few times, I found out it worked like a charm. My partner was overjoyed he could help me, and I got to actually have a great time with the rest of my family as well. Paul just stuck with other family members who weren't in the same room as me. Since then I've used this tactic to basically every family gathering. Me and the boy think it's funny and he just avoids us. My older cousin, his sister, Alexa, called me recently. He was complaining to her about it and she thought the whole thing was hilarious. I appreciated this until my sister found out. She said it's unfair of me to weaponize my sexuality this way, and that making him uncomfortable like this is no better than how he's treated me. Alexa and I argued that he's been doing the same to me for years, it isn't hurting him, and it's made family gatherings actually fun to go to. She's incredibly angry about this and is threatening to tell him that it's intentional. I legitimately do not care if she does, but I worry a bit that I'm enjoying this a bit too much. Am I the asshole? I wonder why sister is so bothered by this though. Not the asshole. No, having your partner around you is in no way similar to him bullying you and picking on you. You've finally found an effective way to shut down your bully. It doesn't actually hurt him and he can choose to avoid you. Kinda sounds like your sister liked watching you be hurt and is disappointed it no longer happens. Not the asshole, you're literally just existing. This is his problem for being a close-minded asshole. Not the asshole. For the first time in your life, an asshole is leaving you alone and your family is full of enablers. Frankly, it wouldn't surprise me if you eventually go no contact with them in the coming years. Live your best life, Browski. Not the asshole, simple as that.